Across D2C companies of all sizes, small companies, large companies, super large companies, I've heard the same thing. We want to grow lifetime value, we want to improve retention, we want to get customers to purchase more than once. And over and over and over again, I've seen D2C teams, including super talented D2C teams, fall into the same traps, make the same mistakes, and ultimately don't see the progress that they hope for the exact same reasons. The pattern is always the same. So in this video, I'm gonna compress all of the experience that I had over the last few years in 7 lessons that I promise you, if you take seriously, you're gonna make serious growth and you're gonna have growth that compounds year after year, and ultimately you will achieve your targets for the brand and for your retention and lifecycle program. Lesson number 1 is that you have a false belief. Many of you think that the way to improve retention, the way to grow lifetime value is to create a bunch of automations on Klaviyo or Attentive or PostScript or Omnisend or any of those other platforms, and then that's basically it. You have your checkout abandonment, you have your post-purchase, you have your winbacks, and then you send 2-3 campaigns a week, and that's it. You're done. You are actually wrong. And I want to preface this video by saying that this is not the way you grow lifetime value. Even though my agency and my company does this, that's not the most fundamental building block that you have. Those are all tactical things that can help nudge people towards certain decisions, but it's not what will actually create a superpower compounding business that gets people to over time purchase and purchase over and over again. Lesson number 2 is that most lifecycle teams know what they should be doing. They're just not doing this. And there's 2 reasons why this happens. Number 1, sending campaigns, it's revenue right now, whereas doing lifetime value work takes more time. There's just a totally different time horizon to actually create a proper system that's built on strong foundations and customer understanding and is mathematically sound. And they simply don't have the time to do this. They are not allowed really the time to do this. On top of this, doing work that moves lifetime value, it may sound simple, but it actually isn't. When you see something like improve customer onboarding or create a loyalty program or, I don't know, reduce subscriber churn, it sounds simple, but each of those things has tons of different sub-problems within the overarching problem that you will then need to solve as you implement. And it's just hard to do this, which leads to lesson number 3. Growing lifetime value consistently in a way that compounds over time is a cultural outcome as much as it is a marketing outcome. What I mean by this is, if you evaluate lifecycle team through the revenue share that they have, of course they will focus on sending campaigns and trying to, as much as possible, get people to purchase quickly. And of course, they will be focusing on tactics that will help them to do more of that. If you are not incentivizing them to do the deeper, more long-term work, why would they? Which leads us to lesson number 4. The way you grow lifetime value is through focusing on the current constraint that your business has. It's not about doing more work. It's not about doing more campaigns. It's really about finding what's the one thing that's currently holding the business back from retaining customers for a longer period of time. And unless you know what this constraint is, you're just basically shooting stuff against the wall and hoping something sticks, which obviously means what? The most important skill you can have, this is lesson number 5, is knowing where you should be focusing next. You are all bombarded by 1,000 different messages. You have 1,000 different vendors, agencies, service providers, technology companies, all telling you should do this, you should do that, more of this, less of that. Try AI, launch on WhatsApp, try direct mail. You don't have personalization. You have all of those different messages that are just distracting you and are wasting time and don't allow you to find the constraint that your business has, which would then allow you to focus and, in solving that constraint, compound and accelerate the growth of your business. Now, how do you do this? This is lesson number 6. To help your company, your team, your organization to focus, you actually need a common vocabulary, a common framework, a common and shared way to think about the work that you do, which will then allow you to be on the same page about what it is that you're working on. What is most likely happening right now is that that you have your acquisition team having one way of thinking about the business, you have your retention team thinking about the business in a totally different way, and then management has their own goals, and then there's like different departments within the company all pulling towards certain objectives. This is a big problem because, again, you are being bombarded from all sides and you are divided within the company itself. Which brings us to lesson number 7. The best way to be aligned within the company around what matters for the organization is to base your understanding around the math behind your business. And the math behind an e-commerce business is actually not that complex. Internally, we've developed a framework which I call the LTV Parthenon, which basically looks like this. Your objective really is to balance two forces. You have the cost per the customer, and then you have how much money you earn per customer. This is your CAC and your LTV. Now, if you think about what you can control CAC to an extent. You can try to lower the cost to acquire a customer by optimizing your creatives and your landing pages and your pricing and all of those beautiful things that many e-commerce teams focus on. And then you have your lifetime value, which is something that, again, we talk about, but we don't really know how to do, or we don't actually focus on at the end of the day. And this framework, the LTV Parthenon, is meant to give e-commerce teams like yours a language that they can use to talk about how you build a durable business. It has 3 different pillars. Pillar number 1 is growing your subscriber base. When I say subscriber base, I'm talking about paying subscribers. I'm not talking about email subscribers. I'm talking about customers that pay you every single time interval, monthly, quarterly, depends on the business, to receive your products. The more you grow that number, the healthier your business will be. And the way you do this is by focusing on 3 KPIs: percentage of orders that start as a subscription, percentage of one-time purchasers that become subscription customers, and then percentage of customers that have canceled that restart their subscriptions. If you focus on those 3 KPIs, if everything that you do, your acquisition, on your retention is focused on those 3 KPIs, you will succeed. Why? Because it will get your acquisition team to think about, how do I get my landing page to highlight the subscriptions in a more effective way? How can I make the subscription become a no-brainer for new visitors? And it's gonna get your retention team to think about, it's not just about sending campaigns, it's about targeting one-time purchasers differently and trying to get them to subscribe than those that have just subscribed already, which you in many cases are treating in the exact same way, even though it's a completely different life cycle stage. Pillar number 2 is reducing the number of paying subscribers you lose, which has your active churn, your involuntary or passive churn, and then how many people you retain month 0. And the reason why we have month 0 separately is because many times people subscribe immediately to the brand and then they cancel right away, which basically is what we call grab the discount and run behavior. And you don't want to be having this. You want to be optimizing those KPIs. Again, number 3, you want to grow the value that each subscriber has, which again has very specific KPIs. It has the checkout order AOV, meaning the new order AOV, and then the recurring order AOV, and then of course the duration of the lifetime of the customers themselves. If you are able to focus your organization on those 3 pillars, the KPIs within those 3 pillars, you will succeed. It's mathematically what will create lifetime value for the business. And you can use this framework. It's of course something we in YOCTO have developed internally and something we're focusing our efforts on and in evangelizing in videos like this, but you can call it something different and use it. I don't really mind. The important takeaway that I want you to have is that you need a shared framework, a shared way to think about the business across your teams. And unless you have this, you are always going to be pulling in different directions. You are always going to be getting distracted, and you are always going to be incentivizing, whether you realize it or not, the wrong short-term behaviors that may look good when you look at in-platform revenue metrics, but it won't actually build your business to the size that it deserves to be. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. I promise this channel will be one of the best resources. You are here early, but this channel will be one of the best resources there are to learn lifecycle marketing and then e-commerce as a whole.